there, thanks for joining me to color. Today I thought we would use the new CC Designs Puppy Power Stamp and Die Set and the Puppy Accessories dies to make a slider card. And I got the inspiration for this card over on the CC Designs blog by DT member Megan Russell. She made an adorable card and I thought we could reproduce that here, and I can make my niece Gracie a birthday card. So here we are going to make the background, and I've used some painter's tape, and when I put that on I kind of stamp it up and put it on my pants or my shirt a couple of times just so it's not so sticky. Otherwise I find it peels the paper off and gets stuck. So I'm adding some tumbled glass, Ranger Distressing on here. Then we're going to quickly peel this off, be careful so it doesn't rip it, and flip it over. And I kind of put it down a little bit on the blue so that it doesn't have a white line there. And I'm going to, I keep the foam tip there on the back of my ink pads. So we'll add some peeled paint down here for some grass. And this will be the background for our doghouse on our slider area. Next, we're going to color our dog. And I picked the dog that looks like he's running so that it can come out of the doghouse and go down the slider part. So I did some quick Copic coloring here, and nothing too fancy since it's for my niece Gracie. I didn't want it to take forever. I think putting the card together took the longest amount of time. And I chose to speed the video up today so that in case you didn't want to watch the real-time video, you would have a chance to watch the fast-forward version and still get all the concepts but not take forever, so 10 minutes. If you'd like the fast forward version, make sure to leave me a comment down below and I will make some more of those. I'm going to try it for a few times and see what everybody thinks. I'll still have the real-time video. You'll just have the choice of having the fast forward video also. Here I'm adding a little bit of shadow to my white areas. Megan had a cute little dog and she made a white patch on her dog, so I'm like, oh, let's do that too. Here I'm going to color his body. And I just did it really quickly. I didn't try to be too neat and tidy. I just wanted to make sure I stayed in the lines so that when I cut him out, there would still be the outline on there and I wouldn't have to worry about any of my coloring being outside of the lines. And then I usually go over with my last color over the whole area just to blend everything together. Here we'll color his face. It definitely doesn't look very neat and tidy when you're coloring it in. And then we'll go over his entire face with the E23 to blend all of those colors together and fill in the white space. Then we'll finish him up. Oh, right here I'm finishing. I got some blue in his eyeball there, so I was erasing that. And then we'll finish it up with some W9 for his nose, mouth, and then I'm going to darken up his eyes because I didn't stamp those very well. Then I took a quick break and I cut him out with the die that you can buy to go with it. And the slider part I made with the Lawn Fawn Slide On Over die. And I'll put a link to that down in the description box if you want to pick that up. And I picked this glitter paper because I thought Gracie would love to have the glitter paper on there, and then it turns out after I got it all together there wasn't much glitter showing. That cardstock there is Juneberry cardstock. And then I'm searching for the piece I'm going to put my sentiment on, and I seem to have dropped it, so I went and found that, and then we'll put that on there. Now we are going to assemble our shaker part. I thought I'd better put this frame on here so that it can dry. And we'll go ahead and put our doghouse together. I made my raven piece a little bit too big, so I'm going to trim that off. And then I found that if you do the roof, it's easier to put it on upside down. That way you get it straight and it's already on there the way you want it. It doesn't, otherwise I get it cattywampus. And this one, the little dog paw in the accessory set comes all apart, but in the stamps, the dies that go with the stamps, there's a solid piece. So if you have both, you can put them together and then you don't have to worry about losing them because they all fit into one piece, and then you can stick it on. That's kind of handy. And then I cannot find the little heart that I cut out for that, but I'm going to find that here after a little bit. It's going to show up. Let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment, which today I'm going to use Hot Diggity Dog. It's your birthday. The stamp set comes with 6 different sentiments, so that's kind of handy. There's lots of different sentiments that you can use for different cards to go with all the cute little puppies, because there's 6 puppies too. And then I found that heart underneath of my little sentiment piece up there. It's really small, so you want to keep track of it. Then we'll put a pop dot behind that and stick it on there. Now let's go ahead and attach our doghouse to our background piece. That should be dry by now. And we'll put our little glitter heart on here. Then I'm going to cheat. I'm going to put that slider piece in there, and I'm going to put my glue down, and then I'm going to reattach it. So after I get all my pop dot stuff on there, it will already be on my background. Next, we're going to use some 3M foam tape to pop up our card piece. And I watched a video the other day where they'd cut it twice as long as they needed and then folded it in half. And I was like, whoa, it was like a complete surprise that that would be how you should do it. I've always done it where you cut them apart and then try to stick them back together. And this is like, yay, they're all together and it's the same exact size. I was amazed. Then we'll put our pop dot, our pop tape on the back here, foam tape. And our penny there is what is going to be our slider. So you want to make sure you leave enough room for your penny to slide around. And I should have maybe put this piece up a little bit higher because the penny kind of got stuck a little bit. I didn't check it afterwards, and you'll see here after I get it all together I had to take it off. And we'll flip it over, and you're going to need to put a couple of small pieces in there that slide in that groove on the back of your penny to make it move around. And then we'll put our puppy on here. And then I did not check the shaker part to make sure that the slider part to make sure that it moved. And so I'm going to stick it on here. And then I'm going to try to move the dog. Uh-oh, it's not moving. So I'm going to have to peel the whole thing back off. And I'm going to take the penny off, apply a new piece of foam tape, and then I'm going to move the penny up a little bit because it was getting stuck on that bottom section down there. There we go, now it works. Then we'll stick it back on there. Perfect. Now we're going to use the Alphabits die or stamp set to make Grace's name on here. And I started out, I tried to use the uppercase alphabet, and after I got it all on there, it was too big. And these are really small, so you want to keep track of those. I got it all stamped up, and then I went, oh, it's not going to fit on here. Okay. So then I thought that I would try to use the uppercase for the G and then the lowercase for the rest of her name. So I've got it stuck all on here. And these are even smaller than the other ones, so make sure that you keep track of those because they're really small. I thought they'd be great for like a planner. And then, oh, they're still not going to fit. So now I'm going to decided that I would just stamp them individually and kind of scrunch them on there. And because it's not lined up, of course, I didn't get them straight. I should have put that up a little bit better, but that's okay. It's for my 9-year-old niece. She won't care that it's not perfect. And then they fit on here perfectly. So we'll put a little bit of foam tape on the back of that and attach it to our doghouse. You had fun coloring and making a card with me today. If you have a question, leave me a comment and I'll make sure to get back to you. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. Have a great day. Bye-bye.